Hello, tonight our video is on the following formula. Distance equals rate times the time. Alright, so this equation, we can always figure out the missing quantity if we know the other two quantities. So let's look at our first example to get started. A train traveled at a constant speed of 80 miles per hour for 4 hours. How far did it travel? All right, so in this problem, we're giving 2 out of the 3 quantities. First of all, we're told what the rate is. Rate is the same as speed. The speed is 80 miles per hour. And we're also given the time. The time is 4 hours. So we'll take our formula, distance equals rate times time, and we can use d for distance, r for rate, and then t for time, and notice that I don't put the little x. R next to t just means r times t. Okay, rate times time. Now let's substitute what we do know. We do know the rate. The rate is the same as speed. It's 80 miles per hour, and the time is 4 hours. So in this case, what we're solving for is the distance. So d is equal to 80 times 4. And you see, the wording in the problem gives us the hint right away. How far? We're looking for a distance. How far did it travel? So we're solving this for d. So in this particular problem, we just multiply 80 times 4. So the distance the train will travel will equal 320 miles. Okay, so our speed was in miles per hour and our time was in hours. So if we multiply those, that will give us the distance in miles. All right, next example. If Sam rides his bike at an average speed of 12 miles per hour, how long will it take him to ride 30 miles? So let's start with our formula. Distance, d, equals rate, r, times the time, t. Now let's identify what we're given. We're given the average speed, or the rate, that's 12 miles per hour. So that will go in place of r. We're also given the distance. He's going to ride 30 miles. So in this example, 30 goes over here in place of d, and what we're solving for is the time. How long will it take him? So the time. All right, so here's our equation. 30 equals 12 times t. So what would you do to isolate the t? Think about what we've been doing with solving equations. Well, if you said divide both sides by 12, then you're correct. We would divide both sides by 12. That would cancel out the 12s and leave t by itself. And then 30 divided by 12, well, okay, 30 will go into, or 12 will go into 30 2 times with 6 remainder. And so this would come out to 2.5 or 2.5. So it would take Sam 2.5 or 2.5 hours to ride 30 miles. All right, next example. Glover drove 90 miles in 1 hour and 30 minutes. What was his average speed? Let's write the formula, or the equation. D equals R times T. Now let's identify what we're given. We're given the distance. He drove 90 miles. So that's going to go in place of D. And we're given the time. He went 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's how long it took him to drive the 90 miles. So, all right, let's take the hour and 30 minutes and let's write that as either a mixed number or a decimal. I would recommend a decimal. So 1 hour and 30 minutes, that's 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours. And we're solving for the rate. We're asked what was his average speed. So r is what we're solving for. Okay, so what would we do to both sides of our equation to get r by itself? That's right, we would divide both sides by 1.5, 1.5. That would cancel the 1.5 on this side, leave r all alone, And now we're going to divide 90 by 1.5. All right, well, I'm not going to go ahead and do the long division on this, but you can divide 90 by 1.5, and if you do it correctly, you should get 60. So his rate was 60 miles per hour. Now think about it, that makes sense, because 1 hour he would go 60 miles, and then a half an hour he would go half of 60, which is 30, and that adds up to 90 miles, so it does check. All right, go ahead and pause your video and set up this equation and see if you can solve for the missing quantity. Welcome back from pausing the video. Let's start with our formula, distance equals rate times time. Let's identify what we're given. Hector walked 10 laps, so that's the distance. 10 goes in place of D. And he did it in 25 minutes. Okay, so that's 25 goes in place of T, and we're solving for the rate. What was his average speed in laps per minute? Now, that phrase per minute means how many laps can he do in 1 minute. So what would you do to solve for R? Well, yeah, you would divide by 25. Okay, so R is going to equal 10 divided by 25. Now, let's go ahead and write that as a decimal. I mean, we could reduce it as a fraction. We could divide by 5 and reduce it to 2/5. Okay? I mean, you could do that if you want. But he could do 2/5 of a lap. That's his rate. 2/5 of the lap every minute. But as a decimal, that would be 0.4. So either one of these answers would be okay. 2/5 of a lap or 4/10 of a lap per minute. That's how much he could do. That's all for tonight. Remember, read some books.